Hi, and welcome to 647. 6 items for 7 a.m. because there's a famine of truth in our land. And this is your quick news fix. And the truth starts now. All right. Item 1. Big Daddy Trump gets out the paddle and stops another war. You can't make this up. Trump took the paddle to Thailand and Cambodia, and they've been going at it along the border for years. But this dispute erupted into violence last Thursday, with both militaries escalating over the weekend. And today, Big Daddy Trump put his foot down and he said both countries are going to cease fighting or he would block the US trade deals with both countries. So what do you think happened? Both prime ministers got the message and they were told to enact an unconditional ceasefire by midnight, Monday night, and then to extend that ceasefire through to 7 a.m. and get both military commanders to meet at 7 a.m. and work out the terms of the unconditional ceasefire. We will see if that happens, but you know what? Money talks. When you tell these prime ministers, we're going to cut off all your profits, they get the message quickly. Good stuff from the orange roughie. All right, take 2. This is not going to go so well with you. US Treasury needs to borrow $1 trillion for the next 3 months from your great grandchildren. So we all better hope that these tariffs and a manufacturing boom pick up speed. Hello, Jerome. Hello, in April, the estimate for the third quarter, what we were supposed to be asking for was $554 billion. That number ballooned to $1.007 trillion. We are heading into a global manufacturing, energy, and AI-driven bull market, and these guys at the Fed have both feet on the brakes. You got to love bankers. They're the first to know and the last to find out. This is just all going to be bad press, bad press, bad press. But meanwhile, Trump continues to cut deals and get commitments for billions and billions of dollars coming in. And that is what is going to save the day, contrary to all the economists and all the legacy media. All right, take 3. ICE nails 214 criminal alien child sex offenders in Houston in the first half of the year. Okay, last year, it was less than that number for the entire year. This year, twice the number. All right, and they're getting better at this and getting more and more takedowns and more breaks as they build their networks. So these numbers are going to increase. So year to date, they've been over 700,000 encounters with illegal immigrants. This is frustrating because there's nowhere that we can go to get an agreed upon estimate of the total entrants under Biden. The range is literally from credible sources, 11 million to as high as 50 million. So we can't get that number nailed down. And the other number that we can't get nailed down is how many of the illegals are self-exporting. They're getting out because they see what's happening and they don't want to stay. But that number is not being counted accurately. So we don't know how many are actually leaving. And we need to know that to be able to measure the success of everything. So the key is to find every way to incentivize self deportation because criminals and gang members are not interested. So it's got to get better. It's a very difficult job. And all the blue cities are working against ICE, as is the legacy media. So it's just terrible that our country fights against the thing that has to be done. All right, take 4. Obama judge granted a preliminary injunction today, Monday, to fund Planned Parenthood via Medicaid. All right. So I'm doing this story late Monday night, and it's for Tuesday, which in 647, it's Tayswell Tuesday. And I don't know. I just have this feeling that you all keep forgetting about Tayswell Tuesday. And these people were made famous by this program because they did not allow the doldrums of Tuesday to get them down. They were in Georgia and they stole an RV and they got some crack and got some beer and were driving down the highway and decided to take their clothes off while they were driving. Then they decided to fornicate. Then the police passed them going the other way, turned around, chased them down. And you know what? It didn't turn out great for them, but we're giving them credit for using their imagination and trying to expand their horizons. So that all happened in Tazewell County. So Tuesdays are Tazewell Tuesdays around here. So this item 4, this Obama judge granted a preliminary injunction today to fund Planned Parenthood via Medicaid. And this is in direct defiance of the big, beautiful, bodacious Bloviators bill, which called for defunding of Planned Parenthood. So Obama appointee Judge Indira Talwani was claiming that the money was going for other health care needs, not abortions, parsing words and allowing for accounting magic by the industry that killed 402,230 preborn babies, a record last year. And it was a record over the year before and a record amount of federal money being given as an incentive. These judges deciding that they can rule over the executive branch are, we thought SCOTUS was going to knock this down and it's still going on. I don't know. I don't know enough about the law at that level to even guess what the progress is going to be, but it has to stop. All right, take 5. The Qatari plane is an unconditional gift to the U.S. So I don't know if you remember, but Qatar, when Trump made his triumphal tour through the Middle East, Qatar wanted to give him a gift of this plane, and the Democrats made a big stink. And so they wrote up an agreement, and the agreement said, this donation is made in good faith and in the spirit of cooperation and mutual support between the parties. The agreement states, nothing in this MOU, this Memorandum of Understanding, is or shall be interpreted or construed as an offer, promise, or acceptance of any form of bribery, undue influence, or corrupt practice. All right? So it's all stated there. It's all in the public forum. And Pete Hegseth signed the agreement for the Department of Defense, who will accept ownership of this plane on last July 7th with the Deputy Prime Minister of Qatar. So it's all there. It's all out in the open. This is a 13-year-old jet, which will replace our 40-year-old Air Force One, which is an embarrassment. And it's going to get a $400 million makeover. as the temporary Air Force One while we wait 2.5 years for the new Air Force One that Trump ordered in his first term, and then the manufacturer stopped working on because nobody expected Trump to come back after the 2020 election. So that's this plain deal. The Dems are foaming at the mouth with emolument clause COVID, and it's completely ridiculous. Trump's not getting this as a personal gift. It's not being done on the sly. It's been out in the open since day one. They just make trouble at every intersection. And they're not going to stop this. They're just going to waste time and money while we wait to get this done. And our president riding around in a 40-year-old airplane is not a good look, especially when he is trying to revamp the entire globe business-wise. And he is doing that. All right, that's take 5. Take 6, AOC wants to be prez. And if she can't capture that, she wants Schumer's Senate seat, and actually his Senate Majority Leader title. And guess what? This girl is 19 points up on him in Dem polling. So here's what I'm asking of you. We should all be praying that the Scream Club reprobates choose Sandy from the block to be their presidential candidate in 2028. She's got the look. She can flip to extreme left. She can flip to center Dem. She did it recently, voting for the Golden Dome, which when she's in extreme left mode, she would never get anywhere near. She'd be screaming against Israel and pro-Hamas. But she has her eyes on the big prize. And so she voted for the Golden Dome. This is telling you that she will listen to her advisors. And she's very photogenic on the camera. And this girl is not stupid, okay? She's foolish, but not stupid. And she has an actual chance to be this presidential candidate, because look at where the bar has been in terms of the height of it. Joe Biden and then Kamala. Well, you can see why she wants to be president. She doesn't respect Trump at all. And those two people, she's thinking, I know I can do better than that. And Schumer's a goofball. So she's already up almost 20 points on him. So we should be praying for Sandy to be the presidential candidate, because not only will that go well for the right, but it will be so much fun to watch. And can you imagine a debate between Sandy and Trump? Well, listen, it's Tayswell Tuesday. You made it through the news thing. And guess what? You need to get your energy rocking and rolling, because tomorrow's hump day. You're going over the peak. And we want your best effort this Tuesday. And we want the Lord God Almighty to bless you through Tuesday. And He will do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. So God bless you. And thank you. Take care.